As folks are working their way into the room, feel free to have a look on the screen. We have a short survey that'll help our team with some ongoing research. We're having the opportunity to instruct the DOE what some of the big opportunities are from a policy standpoint over the next year. So we would really appreciate if you could take a quick moment and fill the survey out. We'll bring the slide back up at the end of our remarks here. As Colby said, we probably don't need more than 10, 15 minutes for our closing remarks. But if you just have a quick moment, help us out. It'll help you out as well, because as an industry, this is going to be sending a signal to DOE what's important as an industry that we should be looking at over the next year.
So phone, camera, picture, that QR code right up there. And you don't have to fill it out right now, but if you do the phone, camera, and click the link, it'll be set up so when we're done, you can keep going. Is this mic working all right? Can you guys hear me in the back? Okay, good. Yeah, let's, everybody who's in the back, let's settle in. Chris and I are gonna do a quick closing. We got maybe 10 slides, something like that.
I feel like this is always like Survivor. It's like who's made it through the conference, who's still awake, who's got energy. So I think you all deserve a round of applause for getting to this point in the summit. Thank you, yes.
Well done, everybody. All right, Chris.
Okay.
Kick us off.
So we just wanted to take a few moments and recap what's been an amazing day and a half. I'm sure that you can all attest to your own successes, your own wins. We're gonna get to our own win in a second here, but before that, we just want to take a brief moment and just recognize some of our sponsors. Without you all, it would not have been a successful event. If I can be so bold as to say it was a successful event. But we just really want to acknowledge the sponsors that have made this possible this year.
So please, round of applause for those of you that sponsored. These guys are super important. One of them, thank you very much. One of them that we actually didn't have on here, and I realized, and I want to make an important call out to them, but SAME, it's the Society for American Military Engineers. Please check that out. They were very helpful in getting a lot of folks who don't normally come to these types of conferences who are from the military here, and we're going to have them back again this year or next year. So, yeah, really appreciate the sponsors. So.
And along with the sponsors, I think what we really want to also charge you all with is finding ways that you can participate in this kind of collective movement. I mean, this is not about the organizing committee. It's not about one company. I think what we're really trying to foster is a industry-wide attention towards some of the biggest challenges that we all face. And so more on the logistical front before we kind of tie up with some kind of vision things. If you want to partner with us in the form of being a site visit sponsor, please reach out to us. We've held this event obviously for 2 years now in Austin. If you are Austin based and you are somewhere on the industrialized construction ecosystem and are willing to be a site visit partner, please reach out to us. But we also are looking more broadly to take this event potentially to other cities around the country. So regardless of where you are, if you've got a site visit or a plant that you want to open and make available to the Industrialized Housing Summit, please reach out to us.
One more thank you, I forgot. The team that helped put this on, ADL and our UT friends, are they in the room?
Yeah,
Alyssa,
the folks that are probably in the back of the room.
Can we give a hand of applause for them? Thank you. Alyssa, Heather, Peter, Jihoon, who else am I forgetting?
Kareem, Najiha.
Ankur, yes. We can't do this stuff without their help, so thank you guys so much. We're going to have a nice little dinner and drink tonight to celebrate our successful event.
And on the topic of success, I know I started the summit by talking about some of the successes personally that I had last year over the last course of time where I've witnessed kind of some of the successful partnerships that have emerged out of last year's summit. And I've already heard that there's been some successes over the last day and a half that you've all had. And I think, Colby, you've got one that you wanted to highlight as well.
Yeah. So somebody came up and said, hey, really want to appreciate the way you guys set up this collaborative environment. I've had 27 companies come up to me and ask how they can participate and how they can get involved. So, and I'm not talking about coming to us. It was somebody out in the audience. Really appreciate the collaborative nature. I think what this was spun out of when Vaughn asked, how many people want to get involved? How many people know that this is a place where this is going to happen? Well, we didn't get enough hands that raised, but obviously there were people that started, figuring out that this is bigger than all of us. And you're not going to get involved by thinking that you're going to win the whole thing. So go find those partners, go find those companies that are already involved, that kind of understand it, ask for help. And that's where we're going to keep building on this traction. So
what we set out to do this year with a bit of a different format was, our research, our work over the last few years has pointed to at least 6 of the big transformational questions that our industry is facing. And so we've really tried to structure this year around these 6 questions with our breakout sessions today, with some of our keynote panels. And so I think just to kind of recap, I'm not going to name these, question by question, but we wanted to draw out kind of 4 of the prominent themes that were discussed over the last day or so. And so to kind of get into this, and I'll kind of set you up, Colby, and you just jump in and add some more details. One of the biggest messages that we heard conveyed is perhaps what's in front of us is a once-in-a-generational opportunity for demand. That coming from military construction. And I think that this is an interesting inflection point, that as an industry, we have a really significant opportunity on our hands.
There's 2 sort of generational things happening. So yes, the military, which we talked a lot about, but there's also the Road to Housing Act. These 2 things, that's the affordable housing space. These things are happening simultaneously. They're both, I would say, generational in their impact. So let's get to it. We got a lot of work to do, and it is going to pass by. There's a window to these opportunities, and we need to jump on it. So,
and the interesting thing too is that coupled with this, I'm being bold and saying it's a once-in-a-generational opportunity, but what also is really clear and abundant is the fact that there is government-wide support to looking specifically at industrialized construction to solve both of these large demand signals. And I think that again, it just screams opportunity for our industry.
Couple examples. HUD is a sponsor of this and has been for the last 2 years. We're going to do this again and have HUD back. Department of Energy, which was that survey that they're wanting to know how they can help with their technical expertise. Department of Energy has a lot more than just energy experts. They have a lot of manufacturing experts. And as we all know, and if we don't yet, this is largely a manufacturing challenge that we need to solve for the industrialized construction space. So DOE is trying to find out how can we help all of this demand that is going to be piled on so that you guys are successful and can meet that.
And so with this opportunity, I think what is also very clear is that if we look at our current supply chain within industrialized construction, there are big needs to rewire, to rethink how we are designing, how we're building, and I would argue most importantly, how we need to collaborate together.
Yeah, and we probably need to expand our who's in the room. We need more perspectives. We need who's not here that should have been here. So, we've got a great start, but where are we missing folks in the supply chain? Please tell us and invite them next year.
Great. So to kind of also quickly note that, we're here for the Industrialized Housing Summit. And what's really amazing about what we're discussing is that this new industrial base that is being established, it might be currently, focused on housing, but what's clear is that this base can do a lot more than just solve housing. Obviously, we've got folks from the military. And so once this new industrial base that is being established, gets to the point where we can start supplying things at scale, housing is just one specific outcome of this new opportunity.
Yeah, industrialized construction. I think we all have been to the many siloed events that happen every year, right? You go to the single family housing event, you go to the multifamily space, you go to the military space, you go to the educational space, you go to the wood conference, the concrete conference, the steel conference. Keep going. I know I don't have them all. Thanks, Steve. We are going to be the place where all of those stakeholders are welcome, because you service, it is not just a housing problem. You're servicing the entire construction industry. So, yeah.
And that sounds bold, but that's intentional. It is visionary, but what it ultimately comes down to is really a call to action for all of us. And so what we want to encourage you all to do is take away great conversations, great new knowledge, discourse, disagreements. I think that this is the place to have that initial starting point, but we really want to encourage you to participate in the network that we're building.
Join the Substack if you haven't already gotten on the Substack. If you don't know about the Substack, talk to one of us. We'll get you the Substack.
I've got you covered. There's a QR code.
Oh, we got a QR code. Perfect. All right.
Yeah. Sorry, I cut you off.
No. I think the other thing you used that triggered a thought here is that we've had a lot of great conversation. We got to go a lot deeper. I mean, last year it was, I would say, quite a bit even higher level. This year we got down another level. We need to start workshopping this stuff. We've got to roll up our sleeves, and we've got to figure out how to solve these problems with actual solutions where we're collaborating. I don't think we're there yet. Next year we're going to figure out how to make that happen, right?
Yeah, we've got growing pains, but we want to encourage you to all be along for the journey with us. So the thing that we'd also like to ask you all to do and to help us kind of scope out is, what are the 6 or so big questions that need to be answered to keep advancing things moving forward? So that's kind of also part of your participation, is tell us, what should we be covering next year? And also tell us, as Colby mentioned, who needs to be in the room that's currently not taking part in this conversation.
Did we tell them about the white paper?
Let's do that. So to kind of segue into that, we are also actively looking for sponsors, partners, and collaborators. We very much have kind of bootstrapped this event up to now, and so things are a little rough around the edges at times, with coordinating where to be and transitions. And last year we did a bad job, I will say, in giving enough networking time. So we're continuously getting better. But I think as we bootstrap this and move it forward, we really are looking for partners who are willing to help scale what this means. And so this year, what we were able to do was have a strong partner in the form of Autodesk, who is recording and facilitating all of our sessions that can be recorded and put online. And so what we are going to do is make this obviously available, but more than that, we're going to put together a white paper that summarizes the 6 big questions, some of the answers that were generated in those sessions. And we'd also like to kind of get more involvement and be so bold as to say, would you be willing to put your name and your company behind kind of a broad statement that we want stemming out of this summit?
So
Colby.
you're going to get a white paper, and we're going to expect some participation, comments. Help us refine it. Help us figure out if we maybe missed the boat on the question. So some of these questions have some answers to them. They're not going to be done. Let's work together and figure out how those can get further answered, figure out what questions we aren't asking, and then that helps us sort of build what we need to do for next year as well.
So the work starts now. Here's a QR code. Please subscribe to our Substack. That's the best way that we have facilitated kind of being able to take part and participate in this network that we are establishing. And stay tuned for year 3 of this summit.
Yeah, and on that Substack, all the videos, the sort of all the assets that are coming out of this, all the discussion, the white paper, any of the links that we talked about during the event.
Digests of like new important information for the industry. We plan to put information on the Road to Housing Act there. What else?
So I think eventually we're probably going to set up some sort of more permanent place.
Yeah.
Like a website where we can have things. Substack's a little bit better at engagement.
I said growing pains, so we're still figuring out how to make this thing scale, but
yeah. So I think that's
That's it.
hands to all of you for a great job for participating with us. Thanks for rolling and with the punches, and let's keep fighting the fight. We've got a lot more work to do.
And I'd say see you in 2027, but we're going to see you on our Substack.
That's it. Oh, if you go one more slide, there it is. If you want to, please take a shot of this. Give us some feedback on what you want help on for DOE. All right. Sayonara. Safe travels, everybody.